So I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be a human and associate with a variety of different personalities, different backgrounds, and why it's so very necessary for our maturity to make sure that we're not only serving ourselves, but that we're serving the people around us. My name's Turab. I make videos about emotional intelligence daily, and the idea is to communicate my journey of becoming a more emotionally intelligent leader and business owner. So a lot of what I came across in the seminar that I went to, Brandon Dawson and Natalie Dawson hosted this 9-figure boardroom in Phoenix, Arizona, talking about all of the necessary components. Well, I'm sure just the surface of the necessary components that are required to make businesses that last the test of time, but also fundamentally change the environment and the communities that they reside in. So through that, I have been here with my business partner, and I've been here with Nassim, who is someone that I met, a dentist in particular that I've met recently, that has shown me how very important it is to make sure that we are taking into account all of the little details in life, all of the things that make things actually genuinely interesting for not only ourselves, but also hopefully the people around us, the people that have spent the time and energy to develop their own way of thinking about life, their own philosophies on the little things that are required. So here I am in Phoenix, and it is absolutely pouring. And I'm about to meet my good friends at a restaurant, and I just can't help but be grateful that I'm not here alone, you know, and that there is just that these different perspectives and this different amount of accountability and perhaps different, altogether different life experiences make for a much more interesting association. And that's part of benefiting from actually liking humanity and actually liking nature and actually liking life, is that we can learn a lot from these different perspectives. And so what I've learned is that many people in society are not particularly hard on themselves for actually reaching quantifiable goals. And it comes at the cost of probably tremendous amounts of depression from helplessness, which I think is worse than depression from doing a lot of work. And perhaps I'm wrong about that, I'm not sure entirely. But the reality is, without having, now I have to navigate these puddles, without having some sort of being okay with not having all the answers and not having all the beautiful parts of life all the time, we are willing to embrace becoming hopefully better for ourselves and for the people around us. And so, you know, if I could say anything to anyone watching this video, is, you know how much time and effort it takes to become a better version of you. And the only thing stopping us from becoming that version of us is a good enough why and some good goals. And so if you have some time, sit down and write it out. In fact, if you want to pause this video right now and write out a really good quantifiable goal in your life, my friend, it's going to make all of the difference. Because, and you can hit it in a pretty short period of time. I mean, all of these guys and girls that were speaking for the boardroom meetings, they really, I mean, they fundamentally have defied how the majority of human beings function, in the sense that they really don't care about time frames that are set by these people that analyze. They don't care about the difficulties that are associated with it. What they care about is results. And really, surrounding ourselves with those types of people makes it more and more likely that we can actually do that in our own life. And so it's been incredibly inspiring, and we have another day tomorrow, so I'm sure I'll be inspired further. But you know, we also have to know that listening all the time is not necessarily making us better. That it requires a tremendous amount of action for us to become better. And in talking to Brandon for like 5 seconds, I told him about all the things that I'm doing, and he said to me, okay, show me. Just show me, you know? Because when you think about it, people that have lots and lots of money get a lot of people asking them for a handout and asking them to, do all, like, spin around and do all this stuff. And what was really interesting was the pricing structure that he has set out and the team has set out for their teaching for the courses that I've actually signed up for, so I'm better myself. He explained the internals of it, and he said that if you're going to do a consulting business in any capacity, that you want to set the price for a month at least at $5,000. Otherwise, you're just going to go broke. And the reason is because consulting itself is a really, really involving way to serve people, because every single person is different. They all have these specific things that they need. That we all have our level of kind of involvement with our careers and with our betterment, and without having that perspective in mind and without having an actual interest in trying to serve these people, well, we're probably not going to realize how incredibly difficult it is to try to change anyone's life in any significant way. So I say to you in absolute humility that there is so much that these brilliant people are doing for society, and it would behoove the young leaders among us, the catalysts in society, to make sure that we're actually learning from them and actually making the very most out of the way that they educate people right now. I mean, there's just so much. How we doing, guys? There's so much education available online right now, and a lot of it is bullshit, but a lot of it leads to a philosophy of understanding, of potentially understanding these things. So I say to you, listen, you must prepare yourself properly for what is to come. Otherwise, you will never be ready for when that opportunity strikes, when you can actually do shroom, I think the mellow mushroom. That is where we are going. When the opportunities arise that actually allow us to utilize all that information, we need to be prepared as individuals. And so whatever you're seeing on social media, whatever you spend your time reading, all of that stuff matters in the context of actually being ready for when these bigger cats, these bigger dogs, these bigger people give us that opportunity to be like, yo kid, show me what you got, right? And again, it comes down to quantifiable goals. So my quantifiable goal is that I want to make a $100 million business. And right now I'm at 3 million. So break that down. He said very, very efficiently, he said basically break that goal down into 20%. So 100,000, 20% of that is 20,000, or 20 million, sorry. Now 20 million, can the staff, people understand if they're making, 40K a year? Probably not. Okay, break down 20 million by 20%. So let's go with 5 million. Can you go from 3 to 5 million? Yeah, probably. So that's the type of thought process that's required to really make the very most out of all of these little things that we're doing to better ourselves. A monetary thing, and I'm going to say real quick, the monetary thing, the reason that I choose that is because the people that I want to be like choose that. And Brandon was actually talking about that too. He's like, we imprint onto the people that we mentor, are the things that we like, the way that we think about life, all of it is imprinted regardless. And we just have to kind of be aware that, whoever these mentors are, whatever's going on, they're going to subconsciously change the way that we think. So I suppose be careful in terms of who you want to be like and who you want to listen to. But if they're doing it, it's probably a good way for me to gauge whether or not I am living up to those expectations of myself. So always sit down, write the goals out. Always be studying, preparing yourself for those awesome opportunities, and ideally choose some role models that you are willing to have their philosophy, their worldview imprinted onto your soul. Because otherwise it's going to be very, very hard to understand why we chose to go down that path. And a wisdom that I'll leave you with again, Jordan Peterson. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's one of the doorways into actually fundamentally taking individual responsibility in life. He says, it's better to move in any direction than to stand still. Hopefully that's something interesting to think about. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself. I'll see you on the flip.